We're going to go through Tyler Lewis' second article about Passion, Pain, and Pleasure, which came out in 2010, and this review. So, he says, Trey Songz became a bona fide star last year. He's talking about 2009, right? He says he released no less than 6 singles that turned his third album, Ready, into his commercial breakthrough. And due to their, I'm going to say lustful, because we are innocent, classy people most times. Due to their lustful nature, solidified his position as the preeminent lustful symbol of his generation. He says, but it was clear by the end of that run of singles that Songz was at a crossroads. Either continue in the lane that he had created for himself as a young lustful person or try something else. And he says, Ready's singles were huge, but they also threatened to obscure Songz' vocal gifts and turn him into a one-dimensional pin-up boy who throws a good party. This debate of exactly what it is as it relates to the music, it continues throughout. But of course, I have solutions, okay? We'll go through solutions later, and I think I know what's going on here musically. For many of us who had been following him since 2005's I Gotta Make It, it wasn't clear which choice he would make. Clearly, staying in that lustful person lane would make him money and satisfy his base of fans who like Party Trey, at least for a while. And doing something else entirely, particularly something more melodic and thoughtful, is a real risk for a young man who, let's remember, broke through on his third album at a time when the industry isn't investing in artist development the way it used to. If you're Trey Songz, you might be thinking you have to prove that Ready wasn't a fluke. He says, so give Songz credit for making an album that is still very much a Trey Songz album, but deepens, expands, and complicates what it means to be a Trey Songz album. He says, so he has a sense of pride also, and I also have pride, of course, but he's being very nice here. Tyler Lewis is being very nice here. And I told you he was a fan. He's being nice because we got the beautiful voice and the beautiful music that we always crave and expect from them. This is where we got it, on PPP, this album, right? I am so proud of him and Dr. Taylor. Like, I am so proud. And it's a beautiful album with international appeal because of how the songs were written and performed, right? I think Tyler Lewis and I appreciate the hard work it takes to make this beautiful music. And this is why I said in the beginning, Mr. Songz fights for this dream, and he's continuing to fight for this dream. And you can't help but believe in this dream too. And that's why I'm making this video, because I only want them to be greater and greater and more legendary, more and more legendary, okay? Like, I truly believe in them and in their talent and the gifts and their ability to fight for this, you know? Let's go on. Let's go on. He says, Passion, Pain, and Pleasure find Songz as lustful as ever, but expressing that lustfulness with a batch of songs that is supremely well crafted and well written. I absolutely agree about the way the songs were made. It is supremely well crafted and well written. So you see what they can do? Okay. Nearly every song here is beautifully arranged and is built around his increasingly effective voice. He says, Love Faces, Massage, Red Lipstick, and Doorbell are as notable for Songz' newfound attention to the pleasure of his woman rather than his own. Okay, let me read that again. Songz' newfound attention to the pleasure of his woman rather than his own. as they are for a newfound strength in his singing. Do you see how his singing gets stronger? Okay. Each song has a beautiful melody, and Songz rides the tonal and rhythmic shifts with impressive agility, particularly on Massage. So proud. Do you see that? Do you see that? Like, this proves all of my points, and I'm so proud as a fan. I think the way he uses his voice on certain parts of Massage, it kind of reminds me of Regina Bell's song Baby Come to Me. It kind of reminds me of that. Like, if he tries, I'm sure he can do it. Regina Bell's Baby Come to Me. I'm sure he can do it. What Regina Bell did on the song, it was very difficult vocally, but I'm sure he can do it. Like, they just make excellent music that we absolutely love to hear. And what they create when they tell substantial stories is very appealing globally, right? Do you see the comments about the songs paying attention to the pleasure of his woman rather than himself? Do you see that? Most of Chapter 5 album and after Chapter 5 album, we go right back to putting 99% of the lyrical attention and focus on his own self in the music going forward. Throughout the music. And I explained how this comes about in my previous video. I love Dr. Taylor. I love Mr. Songz, okay? But it is very frustrating and disappointing that they do this in the music. And this is what takes away the relatability. And that's why there seems to be no relatability or usability or usefulness in the lyrics for us in the songs anymore. And like, besides for the song Top of the World, which we discussed earlier, which had a message and usability, and it was for us specifically, I think this is what is creating the disconnect. This is what's creating the disconnect. Because he's not trying to connect with us in the music or in the lyrics. I'm talking about the writing, and I'm talking about the entire writing team, right? When I say him, he is not trying, he, they, them, okay? They are not trying to connect with us in the lyrics, besides for the odd song here and there. They don't want to reach us with the writing and make the listener the focus. So catering to us in the music is severely lacking. It is severely lacking. He goes on to say, what is most astonishing is how complete an emotional experience passion, pain, and pleasure truly is. Gone, for the most part, are the sing-songy party songs that rely on catchy hooks instead of great melodies. And in their place is a series of songs that are, in total, as emotionally complex as songs as yet been. Credit must be given to a clearly rejuvenated songwriting team of Dr. Taylor, Edric Miles, Tony Scales, and Songz himself, who, in various combinations, wrote the lyrics and melodies to nearly every song here. I told you, Mr. Songz, the individual now, Mr. Songz writes exceptionally well. He can write across genres and with different themes, okay? This means he's bright, he's intelligent, okay? And I told you I'll prove it to you. And I just did. Okay. What we know so far now is that, an additional thing to know is that they are brilliant writers and musicians. And Dr. Taylor and Mr. Songz prove how worthy they are of all the respectable things I say about them on an album like this, with songs like this, and sparkling piano sounds again, right? Okay, he goes on, with Mario Winans, who seems to specialize in a very specific kind of aching R&B lament, Songz creates Can't Be Friends, which gives him the opportunity to display a deep vulnerability that we've never heard from him before. His phrasing alternates between a delicate touch that causes the words to hit like the soft plucking of piano keys on the verses. Look what this girl did to me. She cut me off from a good love. And a ferocity on the hook that makes the sadness and regret palpable. Please Return My Call shows just how well songs can convey tremendous longing, while Unfortunate is achingly sad. You Just Need Me shows again that he can do a straight-ahead pop song better than any artist of his generation. Love Me Better ends the album on a hopeful note. Tyler Lewis is a big fan, and for good reason. So the way they capture emotions and convey emotions on songs and in the production is not something every singer or producer can do. And they do it best on projects like this. Please Return My Call is a type of sound and singing and themes I expected more of from them. Okay, and I want to hear more of from them. When he talks on a song, when it's like a dialogue, it adds to the believability of the story for the listener. It adds to the believability of the story. It's a gorgeous song. It's a gorgeous song. Here, I think we can overlook the fact that there are polarizing themes, right? And too many genres on one album. Because this was still early in his career. And this music is so beautiful. But at the time, I think listeners were still getting a feel for him and trying to get familiar with his voice. But doing things this way doesn't work anymore, because each song, when I go back and listen, each song seems like a standalone song. There's no congruency throughout the album when they do this kind of thing, right? And that's my only critique on PPP. That is my only critique, okay? When we include too many polarizing themes and genres on one project, we are creating confusion for the listener, right? It becomes difficult for the listener to engage with all of the songs on a project because it doesn't feel like one body of work. It feels scattered. It doesn't feel like one journey. We don't know how to bring all of this together as a listener and look at it as one body of work, as one complete story, right? But in this case, the second reason that I can overlook this behavior here on PPP is because it created this identity for them as multifaceted musicians, and it's like they emphatically stated that we can do whatever genre we like and make it sound exceptional. So that was the advantage of doing it early in his career, right? This was the advantage. Even though there's confusion for the listener, okay? So here is where we know for certain they are capable of making music in multiple genres better than any artist that belongs to just one genre of his generation. Maybe even our lifetime. Okay? Do you see why I stand on their talent? Do you see what I'm fighting for? They are untouchable when the focus is on the listener with very relatable stories. Okay? I know maybe I'm alone, but I will stand strong on Dr. Taylor and Mr. Song's talents, even all by myself, because we need their music. We need their music. Okay? So the disadvantage of doing the behavior, of adding too many themes and too many genres on one album, on one project, is that the music world knows Trey Songz as a musician. They don't know him as having a voice that is peerless and the ability to create life-changing music and music that can shift atmospheres. I don't think the music world knows that or sees that. The rest of the world sees him as a sexual fantasy. They couldn't tell you that he's a musician. They wouldn't be able to tell you the kind of music that he makes. Do you see the problems here now? Okay. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be rude. But I'm being hard on them because I know exactly what they can do and what they are capable of. I know exactly. And I'm being hard because they're not doing this for us recently. They're not being the pioneers of music. They're not being the leaders of gorgeous R&B and other genres of music that they are. They are pioneers and they are leaders in R&B and other genres, right? I don't want them to miss out on recognition and wealth and all the great things that are supposed to come with having talent like this here, okay? I don't want them to not be recognized by the world for what they have, for their innate musicality and the diamond songs they can create for us, okay? Do you see why I'm emotional? Because they're missing out on so much. Okay. I will not cry. Okay. This is not what I saw for them all those years ago. This is not what I saw for Mr. Songz all those years ago. Okay? I want the world to see their talent and feel their music and understand that they can create life-changing music. They can. Like, they're not using their potential or talent to take over the world or give us exquisite music. And they're silent in the music when we need them. Like, I am so lost without the music. Like, I am lost without the music. I'm lost without the music that makes the listener the focus. Because it feels like they're being silent. What must we do as fans? What must we do? Where must we go? We know what they can do. They gave us PPP and anticipation too. Tyler Lewis goes on to say, and then there is Blind, another unconventional, brilliant collaboration with the great Bay Major. It's a somber tale about a man so in love that he's blind to just how thoroughly his woman tears his heart out. A beautiful guitar ballad that really shows how beautiful Trey's tone can be when he has the opportunity to sing with more fluidity. It's probably the best written song on the album. Bay Major has collaborated with Songz on every one of his albums, and at this point, I'd love to hear a Trey Songz album that is entirely produced by Major. They not only make magic together, but they seem to push each other to make songs that sound like nothing else out there right now. I totally agree. We desperately need this in the music, okay? Blind was unexpected, but do you see how they can move across genres? Do you see that? How would we categorize Blind? How would we categorize it? Maybe soft rock or alternative rock or soulful rock. I think we'll call it soulful rock. Do you see how they can give us unconventional sounds? Do you see how impactful and crisp and meaningful the writing is? Do you understand now how powerful his voice is? Do you understand? Like, I keep telling you they are in a lane of their own. musically. They are in a lane of their own. They can't do what other people do because other people do not have these talents and these gifts. And that's why we say they are peerless, right? Okay. He goes on. Your read, because I'll catch you on the last line. But these missteps ultimately don't really matter at all or change the fact that Passion, Pain and Pleasure is this year's finest release by a major label male R&B artist. Okay? Tyler Lewis does not like Drake. And I told you Drake's music is like pointless to us in the Strugg life. Besides that one Alicia Keys song where we cannot hear his voice. Unusual. So for the song Unusual, I like Trey's part because he does use his voice a little bit. At 2 minutes 8 seconds of Unusual, it was an interesting sound. I like that sound. But here, Drake tried to sound like Trey and it was clearly fake and like he's just off-putting and his voice is very off-putting on songs. Okay. I like the concept of the song Unusual. I like the concept of being unusual that he talked about in the song. We should have a rap song with that concept. Shouldn't we? Shouldn't we? Made to be together. I truly love the song. Maybe it's for people like me who like honey dripping romantic sweetness in the music. Because the song is delicious, like Cadbury. It makes you feel warm inside. Again, do you see how much Tyler Lewis praises them and believes in them? Huh? Like, do you know how proud I am of them? Like, I'm always going to look at them in admiration and I'm always going to appreciate and be grateful for the music that they make. Truly. But I know they can be more legendary, okay? I know they can be. So why is world quiet? Why are people not requesting this musical excellence from them? Everybody's quiet. Like, I truly believe in them. Come on, Dr. Taylor. What's going on, Dr. Taylor? What's going on? Okay, hopefully the solutions I give later makes a change for us in the music. Because I got them. I am their biggest cheerleader. And I'm going to make them more legendary. Okay. You know, this thing of adding people to songs. Adding people to songs who contribute absolutely nothing to the song. Continues. It continues. There are people that contribute nothing to the song. Trey carries the entire song. They just come in at the end, they say nothing, and they ruin the sound for us. And like, another example. On the Chapter 5 album, we had a great song. Okay, it's called Don't Be Scared. And Rick Ross was featured on the song. I like Rick Ross music sometimes, but he was totally useless on the song. He contributed absolutely nothing. His presence on the song ruined it, and Trey carried the song, right? Like, I don't know if I said this before, but Dr. Taylor and Mr. Songz do not need anyone to bolster a song for them. They don't need anyone else because they are the ones with the talent. They are the ones with the hard work. They are the ones with the vision. They are the ones who can create beautiful music and write all by themselves. They don't need. They can carry entire albums with their own vision and innovative ideas and musicality. They don't need anyone. They don't need anybody to help them shine musically. Okay? Don't be scared. Don't be scared from Chapter 5. That was a really great song. Like, the sound was very well produced. And there was a story too. So there was no need for a feature there. Like, the song could have been 3 minutes straight. 3 minutes straight. Beautiful. Like, I like the Puck references throughout chapter 5, but especially on this song, I get around. Like, I like the Puck references even throughout the album and on this song particularly. There's so much more I could say about how well the song was made, but maybe in another video. It reminded me of Are You a Performer? Don't be scared. Are you a performer? Do you dance in the mirror? It reminds me of that a little bit. But chapter 5 and the Puck references. Tupac Amaru Shakur. That's who I'm talking about. Okay. Chapter 5 with the Puck references. I absolutely love it. It speaks to that revolutionary thing again. And the most beautiful sounds we got on chapter 5. It was so beautiful. The vocals and production, beautiful and Puck-like. Beautiful and Puck-like. There was also a song called Without a Woman on chapter 5. It was really beautiful and it feels beautiful in the soul. It was well written and the writing was descriptive and emotional. It was sufficient. And I don't feel like anything was lacking in the writing on chapter 5 and on that song in particular. And Without a Woman. How true is it now? Because I'm helping you all now, Dr. Taylor. I'm helping you all now. Like, other people featured on another song on chapter 5, but they were useless too. Wait a minute. In fact, there was a feature with Kevin Gates called Jam. And I expected more in the lyrics from Mr. Gates and Mr. Songz. I expected more in the lyrics for that song. I'm not done talking about features, okay? There was a Tank feature with a song called When We. And I expected more in the lyrics too there. I expected more from Tank too. I did expect more from Tank. Because it was a brilliant concept for the song. And they could have really sold us on the collaboration. And we brought R&B to the forefront here. We didn't need the auto-tune. We didn't need the auto-tune. Yeah. For Tank or for Mr. Songz. And if they didn't use it, we would have eaten it up even more without the machines on their voices, right? Ty Dolla $ign on that song gave us amazingness. Like, the video concept, that's what we like. We like seeing everyday working dudes singing to their girl and desiring her. And it's very cute and appealing, the video. But it should have come across more in the music, like in the lyrics. You know, the video was a similar concept to Just Gotta Make It video. It was a similar concept. So I expected him to make reference to that a little bit in the song. It was a perfect opportunity. But we never got that. We never got that reference, right? Right now at this point, we need to continue the story of Just Gotta Make It, like a part 2 or a follow-up, to increase relatability. Do you get what I mean? We need to continue that. That was a perfect opportunity to continue that. But we can do it. We can do it again, okay? We can do it again. You know, girls like me, R&B is the only genre of music we can go to where we're treated with some kind of dignity. And we afforded some kind of respect in R&B music, okay? So I did expect more in the lyrics. We don't have songs to speak to us, Tank. Like, no, I understand the type of music he makes, but like, I expect more. I expect more from R&B. I don't know why, but I expect more. I'm the one who listens. I'm the one who eats this music. So I expect more. It's like no other genre is catering to girls respectfully. So I did expect more from Tank in the lyrics for sure. And Trey. Like Tank and Trey Songz. The majority of their audience is us, girls. Okay? And I don't think they see life from our point of view. And I don't think they know what we want and what we expect from them in the music with regard to the lyrics, right? Because the voices and the sounds they give us is beautiful, but they can be so much more smoother with the lyrics. Like, Tank, we expect more from you. We expect more from you. For example, seems like I love giving examples, okay? But I have to prove what I'm saying. So, for example, every day of our life, every day, as a girl, we have to avoid dudes who only want our bodies, right? Whether they explicitly state that, or they subtle with it, or they don't say it, we know what they want from us, right? And this is all day, right? We have to avoid them. And there are millions and millions of girls like me who have to do this, who are your fans, right? Now we come to our examples. We come to our favorite R&B singers who we look up to because we love their voices and we love their sound, so we want to hear the music that they're making. We come to the person we look up to. We come to their music, we come to his music. Like Mr. Song's music, right? We come here. What do we get in the music? Girl, I want your body like right now. Like, you can say what you want to say on the songs, but the lyrics need to be catering to us. We come to R&B music to get away from all that. I'm being really serious. I'm laughing, but I'm being really serious. Like, we come to R&B music to get away from all that. Because we hear that all day. Okay? And it's not nice to hear that from somebody we look up to too. Again. Like, we want to be seen in the music by our favorites in a better way than how dudes that we avoid every day see us. Okay? We look up to you. We look up to you. We are on your side. So we expect you to be on our side too. And respectful of us in the music. Like, R&B music it's for us soft girls. Like R&B is the only genre that soft girls can come to and be seen with some dignity. At least give us that in R&B. Am I being hard? Am I being too hard on them? Am I giving too much pain? Okay. Let me kiss it better. Like, let me give you the pleasure for the pain. Because I gave you Strugg life nerd passion. I gave you intellectual thuggery already. Right? Let me kiss it better. Dope Boy Magic was a great song. It was for us at the bottom who thought about the interludes and preludes on all the albums are always interesting. And the sounds on the interludes show off his voice in very clever ways. Like, the production and sounds that are on the interludes and preludes is spectacular throughout. And I haven't heard anything like this. I've never heard interludes and preludes like this before. And like, this is why I say they are pioneers in music. What they create is so profound that no one else can do this. No one. Like, the prelude on the Birth of Songz demo, it was literally Mr. Songz entering the world. Obviously, it was a recreation, but it was crazy. I was not ready. But that speaks to their creativity and innovativeness, okay? And originality too. Like, the interludes and preludes. We had like a prelude and 2 interludes on chapter 5. And it was gorgeous. It was the most innovative sounds. Like, interlude For You was interestingly brilliant. It was interestingly brilliant. And it gave an accurate summary of the album. And that's what I like. I really like when they do preludes and stuff. And it gives a summary of the album. It's so clever. It is really very bright the way they do it. The inside interlude from chapter 5 at the 1 minute mark. Somewhere around there. The inside interlude. It was stunning. It was a stunning sound. But we need a trigger warning label. Trigger warning label. Because it was too explicit. And the little parental guidance warning label on the songs is not enough. Like inside interlude. We need a full song with those vocals but a different subject matter. Because we need that sound. This is why I'm grateful to listen to music differently, so I can appreciate the sound without paying attention to the other sounds and the very explicit lyrics, so I can truly enjoy the sounds that are beautiful, the gorgeousness of the sounds without the other things preventing me from appreciating the sound, right? So let me talk about chapter 5 a little bit more. Like, this was so interesting of an album. Like, it was a punk album, and I really like superhero stuff. So it reminded me of Joker from the Batman a little bit, the Joker. Or Deadpool, because it kind of gave that lightheartedness, a little bit humor. But we didn't fully explore the alter egos in any depth. It felt shallow in that regard because we could have really been creative with it. Like with chapter 5, we should have had comic book style videos, cartoons, animations, maybe an anti-hero concept movie actually. Anti-hero concept movie. And flesh out at least 2 alter egos from the 5 in mini movies. That's what we had on Dive In. On Dive In, we had a mini movie, but this time it would be like a comic book anti-hero style story. This would have prevented us from only presenting him as a sexual fantasy, right? Dive In was more of fairy tale style. It's really beautiful, right? Still beautiful. Gave us the best video. Everything was stunning. The story, the cinematography, like the Dive In video and I Need a Girl video. It was so him. He was so himself. Like it felt like he had joy and it was infectious. It felt like he was happy on those videos, right? But with chapter 5, it would have been more of an experience if we had the other aspect to really sell us on this chapter 5 concept. You know? Remember, they give us mixed genres of music and mixed themes on an album anyway. So we could have had another theme, like a mini movie, like Dive In. But this one would be where he'd be the anti-hero and funny and deliver justice by any means necessary. That would have been spectacular on chapter 5. It would have built out the themes of chapter 5 even more. Like, we need the Strugg life heroes that are funny, witty, menacing in a fun way in the music. Like, ghetto superstars, that is what we are. Like, we needed that concept on the album, on chapter 5 album, to balance out the sexual stuff. We needed the balance because we had the sexual stuff, we had the heartbreak stuff, we had the party stuff, and it was emotional, too emotional on chapter 5. If we did this, the anti-hero, superhero concept and built it out more, it would have been more of a well-rounded album and catered to multiple people in the multiple genres that they love to create anyway. Hmm. Like, Forever Yours is a beautiful song, but again sexual, but it was beautiful. Chapter 5, 18 songs on an album. You could have had one for us. You could have had one for us. Superhero Trey, anti-hero Trey, ghetto superstar. That revolutionary thing in the music, in a fun, creative, and storytelling way. You know, like, I don't think we have had any other musician be creative like this, or anyone that did this in this kind of way on an album before. Well, in my lifetime, I guess. Like the interlude for you on chapter 5. Look at how many ideas I drew out from 1 minute 37 seconds of an interlude. Look at how many ideas I had. That's what their music does. It gives so much. It gives so much and so much and so much. And the richness and depth of their music far surpasses everyone else. The creativity, and that's why they're on a pedestal. And there's nothing they can do about it. The first line of Pretty Girls Lie. Woo! Yo! He cut right through. It's like he was saying, the problem with you is you never had a dad. It's like in your face. It hurt me. It hurt me. And I gratefully have an amazing father. But the first line of the song hurt me. Like, you analyze this person's life in one song. I told you, they are bright, they are intelligent, and they can write in multiple genres, right? Okay. Tyler Lewis goes on. Trey Songz has proven here that he can do more than make a great party jam. In fact, the album shows that he can make the kind of songs he wants to make. About love, about intimacy, about passion, and do it in such a way that you can see a little bit of who he is behind the pretty face and the muscular body. In its own way, it's as definitive a statement as we have gotten from the millennial generation of R&B performers, and definitely solidifies Trey Songz's status as the premier male R&B singer of his generation. Oh, people always pick on his looks. Like where I'm from, there's lots of male people. There's lots of male people, dudes look like him, and I think that's why there's added relatability, because he looks like one of us. Like anyway, the call here is to see what the musician is saying about life and real life situations. How does the musician describe his and our situations? That's what Tyler Lewis is asking for. Did he accurately describe our life circumstances from his viewpoint? That's what Tyler Lewis is asking for here, right? So, what Tyler Lewis is asking for, I want to talk more about that. Like, I know what they showed us in the early days because I'm an OG fan, right? But people who only listen to the official music releases and don't engage with any other content from the Trey Songz brand now, right? They don't engage with any other content. They want to see his personality in the music. They want to hear about depth of emotions in the music. Because we know there's depth of character here, and we don't get this a lot in the music. Even now, right? As it relates to life and life circumstances, we don't hear what the musician has to say about it in the music. Even though there's a sense of honesty in the music, we lack the descriptive language and the robust terminology of exploring any kind of emotion and humanness and life stories and the musician's story and life opinions in the music beyond the heartbreak and romantic kind of thing, right? We don't see him in the official music releases. We see this like because I'm an OG fan, I engage with the mixtapes, right? Those are not official music releases for the most part, and these are really old. But we see this in Let Me Hold That Beat, Trigger Mix, Love King mixtape, but it's missing in the official music releases. The world doesn't see this, okay? These themes I'm talking about. The world doesn't see these themes in the music, right? Both PPP and Chapter 5 are beautiful albums, and we need more music like this. Like, this music speaks to us, but going forward, we need our real life situations being described in more beautiful ways. Like, they do heartbreak very, very well, romantic heartbreak very, very well. But romantic love and being in love and talking about romantic desire is lacking in the same intensity in the music. It's lacking in the same intensity. This is why it's so perplexing and fascinating to study their musicality. Because they have so much, but still there's a lot that's missing from their catalog, right? And we know they are capable of writing good quality stories and lyrics and executing on it with the most gorgeous sounds that actually speaks to us. Like, each element of the song speaks to us. Do you see what they can make? Dr. Taylor, what's going on, Dr. Taylor? Like, we need these unconventional sounds now too. So later when I propose the solutions, what I'm asking for is very possible to get from them. Why couldn't we keep this mentality of creating definitive statements in the music throughout the albums? Why did we deviate from the goal of being the most legendary musician of our time? Because he said that, or he gave the impression of that he wants to be the most legendary musician of our time on the My Moment episodes. Okay, he said that. He gave the impression. And we need those definitive statements in the music. We need those definitive statements in the music even now. Even now. Side note. Let me just say that Tyler Lewis has a beautiful style of writing. It explicitly describes how he feels exactly. The way it comes across is so crisp on his thoughts about music, right? And Mr. Lewis doesn't come from a place of negativity because he genuinely loves music, it seems like, and he genuinely wants artists to give their best on their projects. I can absolutely identify with that because I want the same. Like, the way that Mr. Lewis writes, he's slick with it and honest. When people write, you can tell when they don't truly believe what they write. So with Mr. Lewis, he's the real deal, dog. He's the real deal. And I love how he writes and describes music and artists' vocal abilities. And it seems like we have a similar ear for music. Just the two of us. Styla and Tyler. Just the two of us. Like, the other thing is, I've been trying to find Mr. Lewis on social media. I've been trying to find him. On the Pop Matters article, it had a link to, I think, some kind of page, some kind of blog. And I hit the link and it didn't exist. So I've been trying to find Mr. Lewis because I'm a fan of him too now. But I can't find anything about him. So wherever you are, Mr. Lewis, I hope you're healthy and safe and enjoying every morsel of delicious music that he exceptionally adores. Like, I hope, it seems like he truly loves music. So I hope he's enjoying every morsel of delicious music. Like, I truly appreciate Mr. Lewis. I truly appreciate his opinions because it validates my opinions on music. Because we hear this thing that the world does not seem to hear at all. These articles gave me the backbone and the courage to actually make this video. So thank you to Tyler Lewis from 2009 and 2010. And thank you to popmatters.com too.